Hey there, all things MSP crew. Eric here again from PAX 8 Beyond. We're actually winding down PAX 8 Beyond, but we wanted to get one last interview in. If you hear some construction going on in the background, or I should say deconstruction, just kind of bear with us and we'll try and get it out in the editing. So I'm here with Mathias from Usecure, and we want to talk about human risk management. Yes. And I think just phrasing that way, because there are so many other companies out there that are offering things like security awareness training and things like that, but actually defining it as human risk management, I think makes it a much bigger, problem, but also a much bigger solution to be able to solve. And as we know, the bigger the solution, the bigger the profit. So tell me a little bit about yourself and then we'll talk about Usecure.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you very much for having me. Pleasure to meet you. So my name is Mathias. I'm originally from Germany, but I've been in the US now for 23 or so years.
Okay.
Live on the East Coast, and started working with Usecure just about a year ago, coming up on my 1-year anniversary. Before that, I was at PAX 8 for 3 years.
Oh, okay, so you're familiar with PAX 8 Beyond?
Yeah, it's my fourth one. I got to go to the one in Berlin as well.
Okay. And
they're getting bigger and better.
Bigger every year.
Time,
and Salt Lake City next year.
That's right. That's right. In terms of human risk management, traditionally, security awareness training and simulated phishing is sort of the bread and butter in terms of
right.
The human,
that's what most people think of.
Yeah. In terms of the human aspect, infrastructure is incredibly important, right? You need to have that, obviously, right. Email security, EDR, MDR, all of the good acronym stuff, right? And then we all know humans are still the biggest security risk out there, right, for any company. So I think it's around 90% or so of breaches are
Those are the numbers that I hear.
Are caused by human error, and 3.5 billion phishing emails are being sent out every single day, right? So we are the weakest link as human. We have to acknowledge that. Right. And so what we try to do, security awareness training, simulated phishing, all of that is very important, right? Even if only those two things are in place, that's amazing. That's great.
That's definitely the base level that they need to be doing.
Base level. And then what we decided is we added on dark web monitoring, because there is data out on people. If we can find that data quick and act on changing a breached password, in a short amount of time, then we can preempt a bigger disaster with that, right? So that helps MSPs and users act on it quickly. And then we also added policy management, right?
Okay.
We see an uptick in compliance, and it's becoming more and more important to have certain policies in place, also for audit purposes, ISO and many others. And that's where we sort of gathered that all together and termed it human risk management, which I think we didn't come up with the term, but it's an overall score that goes into that and it can be improved.
But I think it's really important to look at it from that more holistic point of view in calling it human risk management, because it has more components to it than just security awareness training or simulated phishing. I think the policies are a very important part of that, because you have to level set with your employees first, and you have to explain to them the consequences. We're going to give you the opportunity. You're going to be trained. We're going to test you. But at the end of the day, it's up to you, and these are the policies, and if you fail to meet the policies, there's going to be situations where there have to be repercussions.
Correct.
So I know that you guys are channel first, or you only do channel, you're channel specific, and that you built it from the ground up to do that. So what are some of the things that you guys have done to make it specifically fit the MSP channel? Yeah,
certainly. What we've done is started from the get-go with multi-tenancy, right? That's I think the first thing that comes to mind is make it so that
critically important.
Critically important, so you can manage it on that level. We've also really honed in on automation, right? So we know MSPs are incredibly busy. They have typically a lot of customers, right? It's not one customer, it's 20,
right.
40, 100, 200. Yep. So what we've done, we've components in our platform that are for the security training, auto enrollment, same for the phishing campaigns.
Okay.
Dark web monitoring happens in the background, and policies as well can be set up and automated. The setup is very quick. It's very 15 to 20 minutes maybe, and you have your customer set up. We have an integration with Microsoft and Google Workspaces.
Okay.
So the management aspect, the admin aspect of it is also made easier, essentially,
yep.
because you have 2 people leaving a company, they're getting taken out of the billing system. You have 5 people being hired the next month, they're being automatically pulled in, on a daily sync. They're now being enrolled in we start our training with a gap analysis, which is another differentiator. So gap analysis takes about 10 minutes or so to complete, and then we automatically send out the trainings based on the weakest area of the user first. Right? So each user might get a different training at a different time, depending on where their strengths and weaknesses are. But users get pulled in, gap analysis being set out, and then the training courses, they're part of the phishing campaign, and if there's policies in place, they're also getting the policies sent automatically. The MSP did nothing other than getting the user onboarded in Microsoft, and that's it. Right?
And see, that I think is critical, because labor expense, the expense to admin anything for an MSP, reduces their profit percentage, and that's the key to being an MSP, is building these processes and using tools that eliminate labor to give you more capacity to do the harder work. And so I think by doing that, by saying we're just going to add this person to Microsoft 365, and everything happens from that. And I love the gap analysis too.
Yeah.
I think finding the weaknesses and specifically testing to those weaknesses is important, because it does customize it to the individual user, which does 2 things. Number one, it's always good to customize because it operates to the weakest link, right?
Correct.
But it also makes it so that they don't know what to expect, because it's not going to be the same as what the other person who was just onboarded got.
Exactly. Yeah, precisely. And there's room for going beyond that, right? So it can be set it and forget it. It can be that you leave it alone. The goal is to have the MSP decide how much time they want to spend in the platform. Keep them out of it, right? Set it up one time and then let it run its course. They don't have to go in and do anything. But there's also room for customization. There's courses that can be sent out on a quarterly basis or so, where, hey, today, this month or this quarter, we're going to send out an extra AI training course, for example, right? Or AI threats training course, or something about HIPAA compliance or what have you. Same with the MSPs can build their own courses if they would like to. They can build a course on how to use the coffee machine in the kitchen, right? And send that out to everybody. Same with the phishing simulations, right? There's a ton of templates in different languages as well. So if there's Canadian MSPs that are French speaking, we have Quebecois templates, or with businesses that are specific to the Quebec area. We have 8 or 9 different core languages that our courses are all translated to, and in audio and so on and so forth. But also these templates or phishing emails can be customized as well, right? You can either set it and forget it and just let the system choose it, or you can go in and create spear phishing campaigns. Right?
So
Very
along
easy.
the lines of that customization, say that I have a client that is in a highly regulated industry. What are some of the customizations that I might do in order to actually increase the compliance and the training and all of that for a type of company with those compliance requirements?
Yeah, I would say we have courses in there for various industries.
Okay, so
and
they're already
compliance.
built in.
There are some, right? And we built everything in house. So if there is a need for something, we're also always open for suggestions, and then we'll work
Right.
with an MSP if we see that this is going to be something that benefits many. We'll take that on, right? Or we
Okay.
can take that on, and otherwise they can build their own very compliance-specific training courses and then deploy them from that way. And then same with policies. We have around 40 templates. It's very easy to edit, right? You can take them, make a few edits, send them out, or upload your own policies via PDF, and that all takes a couple of clicks, and now it's automated. You can set it that a policy gets signed once a year from the last signature, for example, right? So the system will remind it and remember that, and then send it out a year or two.
Well, and that's a really good point, because one of the problems today with compliance policy management is getting the employees to sign the new one every year.
Right.
Because it changes, and so they do need to be signed every year to keep up with those compliances. So I'm glad to see that type of scheduling in the product as well.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate something like this going wider, you know, and covering kind of the entire human risk management topic rather than just the solutions that we may have seen out there in the past.
True. And I mean, you know, just to also bring it back, anything that has to do with security awareness is good already, right? It's an investment that so many businesses or customers say, "Oh, I'm too small. I wouldn't be phished. I wouldn't be attacked." Nobody's too small. We all know that.
Yeah.
If a bad actor sends out, there's 3.5 billion phishing emails being sent out every day, right? If you get 100 small businesses and you only take 10,000, doesn't have to be the $200 million ransomware, but if you make 10,000 200 times, you're making good money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So nobody is really too small. And for the MSPs in that certain field, or in this specific field we're talking about, it's an investment into their own business, into their own time, right? When do attacks happen mostly? On holidays, on weekends, right? You get to spend those with your family, or your techs get to spend those with your family instead of remediating something. And for the end customers, I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir.
But that's okay. Sometimes they need to be preached to.
Right, but end customers need to understand, and I think that's one of the tricky things, that nobody's too small, and you know, having cyber aware, security aware customers.
Right.
Everybody wins. Everybody on the good side, at least. Wins. Right?
Exactly. Everybody on the good side wins, and I think that's important. Mathias, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
Love what you guys are doing over at Usecure.
Thank you.
And hope to see you at the next PAX 8 Beyond.
I'm sure we will. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.